Among the crowd were Qiao Chen and two of her female classmates. They were looking down at the rushing waters. One of them whispered to her, "Chen Chen, I remember you signed up for the swimming class during summer break." Wei Lu had asked Qiao Yan what was so magical about this pill. He'd seen Qiao Yan keep the supposed magic pill in her chewing gum bottle like it was just an ordinary candy. He'd even seen her suck on 2 pills at a go when she was frustrated or just bored. "I'm busy, I couldn't get that many." Qiao Yan had one foot on the chair beside her. Her skin was fair and her legs were long. She was actually a stunning beauty. The little red mole on her slender neck really appealed to people, some would even want to have a bite at it. Wei Lu kept that precious medicine jar. He turned to her and said through clenched teeth when he heard her response, "You, busy? I see that you're actually very free, you even have time to look for your daddy." Qiao Yan looked at him seriously. "I'm really very busy." Her sanguine tone made her sound even more unconvincing. Tisk Wei Lu couldn't be bothered to argue with her. He seemed to recall something at this point. "Oh, right, someone is checking on you. Someone has come to Rao City all the way from the capital. I think a VIP wants you to have a look." Not interested. Qiao Yan would rather take the time to figure out her background. They've already come all the way to Rao City. And they came prepared, they seem to have a lot of information about you. Qiao Yan didn't even turn to look at him. She said coldly, "I'm not meeting them. Help me settle it." Wei Lu had a lot of underground businesses. In fact, the black market in Rao City was under his name, including some of those in the capital as well. She and Wei Lu met by chance. She'd saved him before, and he'd helped her. It wasn't a matter of life and death, but she had complete trust in Wei Lu anyway. He was also one of the very few who knew her identity. Wei Lu agreed right away. Ever since this medicine appeared in the black market, Qiao Yan's reputation as a miracle doctor had spread far and wide. He had had to deal with this several times before. He told her, "Okay. I'll get going, then." She'd given him whatever she needed to and gotten what she wanted. Qiao Yan didn't intend to stay any longer. "Contact me if there's anything else." Wei Lu seemed a little sad that she was leaving. "I got it. The Qiao family." She'd already rounded the corner by the time he thought about the Qiao family matters. He was about to ask her whether she wanted to take revenge on them, but since Qiao Yan had left, he decided to forget it. Anyway, the Qiaos were fools. They were treating trash as treasure. It was a matter of time that they regretted it. Qiao Yan didn't rush back after leaving the clinic. She flagged down a cab and went to a mall to purchase some items before heading back. There was only a clean set of clothes in her bag beside her notebook. There was traffic control along the road that the mall was located, and the driver couldn't turn into the area. "Little girl, there's security control further ahead, I can't go in. You'll have to walk in yourself." "Is that all right?" "It's fine." Qiao Yan looked at the fare and handed him the money. She had to cross a bridge over the river to get to the mall. Qiao Yan had just taken a few steps when she heard someone shouting from her left, "Someone's fallen into the water." A crowd began to gather. "Gosh, someone's fallen in. I just saw a child reach down to get something. I think he slipped in. Who can swim?" People were yelling. A lot of them were standing around, but only a few could swim. Among the crowd were Qiao Chen and two of her female classmates. They were looking down at the rushing waters. One of them whispered to her, "Chen Chen, I remember you signed up for the swimming class during summer break." When the adult next to her heard this, he turned around joyously and asked, "Little girl, you can swim? That's great. That child is drowning, you can save him." The old man's voice wasn't small and attracted everyone to look at them. Everyone wanted to save the child, but none of them knew how to swim. Looking at the water under the bridge, Qiao Chen knew that the river water couldn't be as clean as the water of a high-end swimming pool. When she saw the muddy river water, she frowned, and disgust quickly flashed past in her eyes. It was so dirty, and the current was so fast. She might put herself in danger if she went down. There was no way she would take risks for an unknown child. However, with so many expectant eyes looking at her, she couldn't refuse either. Anxiously biting her lip, her eyes turned soft, and an embarrassed expression crept up on her face. I only studied in my summer class for a few days, I'm not very good. I might not be able to save him even if I jump down. Why don't I ask my brother Fuga to come over? He's also nearby. As she spoke, she took out her mobile phone and made a call eagerly. The old man beside her wanted to say that it would be too late by the time help came. However, since she was obviously unwilling to go down and save the child, he could only stand on the side of the road anxiously. The waves were hitting high in the water, and the struggling child was about to be submerged. Onlookers called the police, found ways to find ropes, basins, and other things that could float. At this time, a slender figure resolutely squeezed the crowd away, dumped a bag onto the floor, and jumped down. Qianyan? Some of the girls who had followed Xiao Chen here recognized Qianyan and screamed. They turned to Xiao Chen and asked, Chen Chen, isn't that your sister? Everyone in first middle school had already heard of rumors of a fake daughter in Xiao Chen's family. Rumor had it that the fake daughter's biological parents had even come to the door, and one of them was a poor teacher in Luoha County. Qianyan didn't return to Luoha County and was here instead? Xiao Chen's mouth hung open in surprise. She didn't expect that the person who she had just met at Waterside Loft would be here. What could she do? She called Fu Ge and hurried him. The current below was so fast that Qianyan realized it wasn't so easy to bring the child up. The drowning child was in a state of confusion and was frantically clutching Qianyan's neck. If this continued, Qianyan would only be dragged into a whirlpool by the current. Move again and I'll beat you. Qianyan felt her neck being grabbed, and a sharp pain behind her ears made her wince. She couldn't comfort the panicking child in the water and could only grit her teeth and bluff with a low voice. The child's eyes were wet and beautiful like black jewels. As if hearing what she said, the child's movements reduced. His little face was dirted by the muddy water, hiding his appearance. Qianyan took advantage of his slow movements and dealt a blow to the back of his neck. After ensuring that he had fainted, she held his softened body in one hand and swam towards the shore. The waves came several times, and she dragged him in her arms, even drinking a few mouthfuls of river water on the way. By the bridge. Fu Ge arrived first. He squeezed past the crowd anxiously and quickly strode in a beeline toward Xiao Chen and her friends. He grabbed her arm and checked her up and down, his handsome features contorted in worry. Chen Chen, are you okay? Xiao Chen smiled shyly and shook her head. I'm fine. Fu Ge heaved a sigh of relief. That's good. He then greeted her friends. Hello, thank you for helping me take care of Chen Chen. Let's have a meal together tonight. Two of Xiao Chen's classmates immediately beamed and promised hurriedly. Thank you, Senior Fu Ge. Zhao Jingwei, who had a better relationship with Xiao Chen, nudged her elbow enviously and flattered her with envious eyes. Chen Chen, you're so lucky to have a handsome boyfriend like Mr. Fu. Fu Ge was first middle school's idol. He had been admitted to the finance department of Qing University with a total score of 678 in science. It was said that he was even a grassroots figure at Qing University. Besides having good grades, the key thing was that he came from a rich family background and was even tall and handsome. Which girl wouldn't be envious? Xiao Chen's cheeks flushed and she pushed her shyly. Jingwei, don't talk nonsense. At that time, another classmate who had come with them said loudly, Chen Chen, will your sister be alright after jumping down? Fu Ge had been the proud son of heaven since young and had grown up amidst the praises of people around him, so he didn't take the praises of Xiao Chen's friends to heart. He smiled politely and then asked in confusion, who jumped down? Only then did he notice the bridge. Many people had gathered around to cheer the people below the bridge, and no one was paying attention to them. Xiao Chen was secretly annoyed with her friend for being a busybody and thought she didn't have Zhao Jingwei's vision. She tugged on Fu Ji's sleeves and bit her lips. My sister jumped down. I wanted to go down to save the child, but my swimming skills are average. The doctor said that I can't catch a cold, so I called you over. I didn't expect her to jump down to rescue the child. Fugu was stunned. You mean Qiao Nian jumped down to save someone? Qiao Chen nodded and said casually, I never knew she could swim. The currents below were so fast. If a wave hit, she wouldn't have to see Qiao Nian at school anymore. Qiao Nian struggled to drag the unconscious child ashore and climbed up with her own strength. Seeing that the rescued child's face was blue and he was unconscious, she knew that he had drunk a lot of water. She ignored her frail body condition and propped him up, rushing to perform first aid on him. He's been rescued. The onlookers on the bridge saw Qiao Nian and the child and cheered. Fugu turned his head over and asked in a low voice, should we go over and take a look? Qiao Chen didn't want to let the two of them come into contact, but she couldn't pretend to not care either, so she reluctantly agreed and said kindly, I don't know how she is. Brother Fugu, let's go over and take a look. I might be able to help. Not far away, in the traffic control area, a Volkswagen Phaeton drove past the fallen leaves and hurried towards them. Master Wang, Elder Yi called and asked why the young master didn't pick up his video call. The Yi family's young master was the treasure of everyone in the family, and Master Wang adored him to no end. If it weren't to find treatment for the young master this time, Elder Yi would never have been willing to let the young master leave Beijing. Who knew that the person taking care of the young master turned away for just 1 second and ended up losing him? The atmosphere in the car wasn't good. Yi Wanchuan's handsome face was tight with worry. He hadn't closed his eyes for 3 days, and at the moment, those beautiful eyes of his were filled with blood. Even the string of Buddhist beads on his right wrist could hardly suppress his bloodthirsty anger. Tell him that Yi Kitchen is taking a nap and will call him back later. Yes, Master Wang. At this time, his headset rang. Yi Wangchuan put one hand on the steering wheel and answered the phone with the other. Hey, have you found where he is? Yes. Jiangli knew Yi Kitchen's importance in the Yi family and didn't quite know how to tell them the truth. Wangchuan, I'll tell you the truth, but please don't be agitated. Yi Wangchuan's eyes were covered in blood, and his thin lips were extremely cold. Speak.